If you review your marketing spend over the last few quarters, you've likely noticed your cost per click on Google Ads climbing steadily. This upward pressure reflects a structural, permanent squeeze on digital real estate, driven by shifts in the underlying mechanics of search. The primary driver is absolute market saturation. In sectors like finance, law, real estate, and e-commerce, digital transformation has accelerated globally. Every viable competitor is now actively bidding for the exact same top-of-page slots, forcing the auction prices up. This chart maps out the technological shift compounding the problem. The rising line tracks the steady increase in average cost per click over the last 5 years. The descending line tracks the total volume of clicks available to advertisers and organic results on the search engine results page. Watch what happens right here. As Google integrates AI directly into the search experience, users increasingly get direct answers without ever needing to click a link. This rise in zero-click searches shrinks the available pool of click real estate, which forces advertisers into fiercer bidding wars for whatever traffic remains. When you pair rising costs with shrinking inventory, relying exclusively on traditional paid search is mathematically unsustainable as a long-term strategy. Pragmatic, this puts your business in a very specific financial trap. If you continue to accept these price hikes and maintain your current ad spend, your customer acquisition costs will eventually eat your profit margins down to zero. However, turning off your paid campaigns today could cause your pipeline to dry up. For many businesses, stopping ads means an immediate loss of lead flow and a significant drop in revenue. Navigating this requires a specific trade-off. You are choosing to invest time and labor into building assets that eventually replace the capital you are currently paying to Google. To build a realistic roadmap out of this dilemma, we have to look objectively at the true costs, timelines, and returns of your alternative marketing channels. You have to decide exactly how much immediate visibility you are willing to trade today in order to build owned, durable assets for tomorrow. This comparison matrix breaks down our options. Let's start with column 1, maintaining the status quo by ruthlessly optimizing your existing pure paid campaigns. The inputs required to survive here are intense. You need high, ongoing capital expenditure. You also need constant active management, refining keyword targeting, isolating negative keywords, and fighting to maintain high-quality scores just to keep your bids competitive. In exchange for those inputs, the outcomes are highly reliable. You get immediate top-of-page visibility, access to audiences with high purchase intent, and the ability to rapidly test new offers. But look at the trade-off. You do not own this traffic. You are permanently renting your audience from Google. Because you are renting, you are always vulnerable. A new competitor with a massive budget can enter your market tomorrow, inflate the bids, and wipe out your entire campaign ROI overnight. Paid ads give you ultimate short-term control over your traffic, but they function as a permanent tax on your operations. The moment you stop paying, you stop existing. Moving to column 2, we evaluate pure organic. This means attempting to replace ads by building owned assets through SEO, content marketing, and public relations. It is crucial to understand that organic does not mean free. The inputs here require massive upfront investments in time, labor, software, and high-quality asset creation. You pay your staff or your agency instead of the platform. The intended outcome is digital equity. When you rank organically, your reach compounds over time, steadily driving down your overall customer acquisition cost and building trust with your audience. However, this timeline chart illustrates the harsh reality of this path. Notice this deep red zone, mapping the first 6 to 12 months of the campaign. Unlike the immediate pulse of paid ads, during this period, your organic efforts are burning cash and time while yielding practically zero revenue. The payoff only happens if you survive the climb out. Because organic marketing is a long-term investment in digital equity, it cannot be deployed to fix an immediate cash flow crisis. Finally, look at column 3, audience retention. This approach attempts to bypass search engines altogether by leveraging email marketing and referral programs. The necessary inputs involved setting up targeted automation sequences, managing list segmentation, and engineering clear financial incentives to drive word of mouth. When executed correctly, retention yields the absolute highest ROI of any channel. You own the communication line, meaning algorithm changes cannot dictate your visibility. But the trade-off is a hard prerequisite. This strategy is entirely useless for a cold start. You can only build a retention loop if you have already spent the money on ads or spent the labor on organic to acquire those customers in the first place. The most effective strategy rejects the extremes of being purely paid or purely organic. This flowchart maps out a synergistic approach, and your starting point depends entirely on your primary business constraint. Let's follow Path A. If you run a local service business, like a law firm or a real estate agency, and your primary constraint is immediate cash flow, you cannot afford to turn off the tap. Keep 70% of your marketing budget strictly allocated to high-intent Google Ads so your revenue doesn't drop. Then take the remaining 30% and dedicate it exclusively to building out your Google My Business profile and local SEO to begin slowly offsetting those rising ad costs. Now look at Path B. If you are an established B2B or e-commerce brand with steady traffic, but your margins are shrinking from platform inflation, your allocation must flip. Pivot 70% of your resources towards organic content and PR to drive top-of-funnel discovery. You then reduce your Google Ads budget to 30%, focusing your spend on high-intent retargeting to capture the highest possible conversion rate from the visitors your organic content already brought in. This restructuring shifts the role of Google Ads. Instead of paying a premium for broad, forced awareness, you are using the platform as a high-precision tool to close the loop on existing interest. The era of cheap, easily accessible clicks on search engines is permanently over. The platform dynamics have shifted, and the costs will continue to climb. The businesses that survive this transition will be the ones that accept the math. They will purposefully trade short-term capital today to construct durable, owned digital assets for tomorrow. Building and owning your digital presence provides a buffer against platform inflation. It offers a clear path to stabilize your margins and regain a level of control over your